Okay.
and then turn it over to Alan.
Okay. And do we not have workshop again?
I don't know.
Well, George is here.
So we might have workshop, and he knows
Sure.
items to speak about.
How are you, George?
That's true.
Good.
Am I gonna be in the way here, or
Nope.
should I sit over there, or?
Ask Jim, he's running the
As
camera.
long as you can see this screen, I'll move it.
Oh, okay.
George, would you evaluate my speech today, please?
Okay.
I'll get you the manual.
Who else has got a speech?
I got one.
Alan, have you got a speech, or?
Are you our Toastmaster, Alan?
Yes, I am. Thank you, sir.
Please. I don't know which one of us is shaking worse.
Guess that makes me a GE then, huh?
Yeah, all right, that's good. Yes, I was GE.
So you're gonna be
So if
TM
you-
instead of timer?
if you would be GE.
Okay.
Do you have a timer yet?
Let's see. Donna, have you got a speech?
No.
You don't, okay. Well, you need an evaluator? Yeah,
I guess
Jim-
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Hang on a second, I'll find the book.
Okay. I got a book here for,
Mine.
I need my evaluation evaluated.
Yeah, that's at the end though.
Well,
It doesn't have to be oral, and I can write in your book at the end.
oh, you get?
Yeah, I'll pay
Okay,
attention to
All
your
right.
evaluation.
all right.
It's on getting comfortable with visual aids. How I did it. Here's,
Oh, okay,
that's the evaluation.
all right.
Come on, Windows, let's start.
Do you know who your evaluation team is, Donna?
George for Pete and Mark for Jim.
And then timer is
Are you GE then?
I am.
either.
Oh, there you go.
I'll keep
go.
Jim is the aux counter. Jim,
Yes.
you have a word of the day, available?
Not until I find it in the box.
Okay.
Oh, my, excuse me for,
All right.
this is my second
I have-
meeting
I
today.
have one that, I could give verbally.
Sure, would you do that?
Okay.
Well, it's not a really too complicated one, but I was,
Well,
the word is belittle, belittle. B-E-L-I-T-T-L-E.
Sounds good.
All right.
It's a word that we don't use too frequently. And I
You
have
need it,
used
you
it,
need it.
yeah.
All we need is a timer. Virginia?
I'm gonna,
You're
And
gonna
it's
try?
in the 11th
Okay.
edition of the dictionary, so
well,
it is a recognized word of the English
take the
language.
topics and count
Take a
stuff, count ballots and stuff, so I'll go do it. Unless someone else shows up, we signed that to fair game.
How many speeches are there today? 2. Pete, do you want to go first because my computer's delaying and booting up here?
We'll see, we've got some business to do, so.
Okay, and if it's ready to go, I'm ready to go. If it's not ready to go, I'm gonna.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
You want me to hold it?
No, I can't do it without it.
I believe Linda's supposed to be here.
Oh,
That was the plan.
Linda Wolf.
Linda Wolf, yeah.
I thought maybe all my Linda Salinas, I'm always after her whenever I see
But
her.
it's good. He doesn't mind that one bit. She likes you a lot.
Yeah, she's one of those people that is just nice to see and visit.
When you get past welcome,
Hi.
there's Linda right there.
Got lost around the wrong corner.
Welcome.
You're welcome.
Linda, what is your title of Toastmaster?
Area governor.
There you go.
It's Linda Wolf. And where are you?
Massey.
Massey. Welcome to the February, what are we, 12th? Lincoln's birthday today. Had a little bit of trivia today this morning with my son on President Lincoln. And this is what he tells me. I didn't confirm it, but he said that Lincoln was the first president that was assassinated. I guess I didn't, I probably knew that back in 7th grade history, but I don't remember it now. But I thought that was kind of a neat little trivia. And let's all rise and do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And while we're standing, we'll do the mission of the Toastmasters Club. The mission of the Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every individual member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. Thank you. You can all be seated. And I would like to take this time to welcome Linda Wolf. She's our area governor, and she's here today from Miles City. So thank you for joining us, and welcome to the Glenhead Noon Toastmasters Club. Thank you. I was not at the business meeting last week. Pete, do you have some information to share with us, please?
I do. Alan and I both have some things. First, we decided to remind all of the members, both by email, telephone, and in person, to invite someone to our club meeting once a week. Every member invites someone once a week was one of the things that we wanted to bring up. And then the second, before I turn it over, you do, to Alan, we decided to bring this to the club since everybody contributed to this $66 prize, to either put this into the treasury or to include it in this medley membership drive, which is going on right now. So at the pleasure of the club, we just need to discuss this or vote on it. But this money that we collected for a membership drive prize needs to be rolled over into this membership term or put in the treasury as just part of our overall balance.
Madam President, I would suggest we roll it over to the upcoming or current membership contest. That was a motion, I guess.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. So Jim has made a motion to roll over the money from the contest, roll it over to the current contest. Virginia has seconded that motion, and I'd like to call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. So then the club has voted and approved for the money from the contest, previous contest, to be rolled over to the current contest, which I believe is the Smedley contest. In which
I have
is
a
that-
question I wanted to ask. And that is then, Alan, then, but these that have donated or put into this, fund, they will be given credit for their membership until next fall, right?
Have you paid are you talking about the dues?
I'm talking about the others, the ones that have already put into this.
I believe that's just
Could
contest.
I answer that question? So, this $66 will go to whoever gets the most points, as was explained to us by a member of 3 clubs, when he came to visit us last fall. And if you bring a invitee the first time, you get 1 point. If they come back a second time as your guest, you get 2 additional points for a total of 3. And if they join, you get 5 points on top of that.
So start with inviting someone to come to the meeting, and that'll get you a point, and then encourage them to come back as a,
Well, I encourage people to come all the time,
well, good,
and I don't have much luck, but,
yeah, but you can't get them to come if you don't ask or invite them.
well, my question was, I assume that the people that's donated here, do they have to pay their dues on top of that?
That's separate, this is just
It
contest
is separate,
money.
okay,
Mhm,
okay.
mhm. Yep.
All right, well, I haven't paid into my dues yet and so on, but I think I'm just gonna pay, I'll pay this month, and I could pay today, I guess, if I could. Would I get any discount today if I paid today?
I guess this is probably my turn to talk about the upcoming membership dues that will be collected. We've been trying to get the members to, if they're going to re-up their membership, to get them in as quickly as possible so I can get them the dues to TI in a timely manner. And I think if it was in January, normally we charge $40, but in January I think it was 36. Throughout the month of February it would be 38. So you get a $2 discount this month. And starting March 1st, it would be the full $40.
Okay,
Is what.
yeah, that's fine, that was on my mind
So
as well.
if you want to pay now, you
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
I
pay.
believe I have to, I can check my checkbook,
Okay.
but
well
I think
then,
I can pay you, yeah,
then
I'll
you
give you
can-
today,
you
I'll give you
can,
$38.
$38, perfect.
Yeah, that'll be fine, Alan.
And what I'm going to do is, after this meeting, I'm going to send out a email to all of our current members and let them, kind of remind them to, if they're planning on re-upping their membership, to get them in before the end of February, and they'll get a $2 discount. So hopefully we'll get the monies to TI in a more timely fashion. Also, I guess, just for the members, I may be stepping on someone's toes, but Pete is the VP of Education, and any people who give speeches through the manuals need to have Pete sign them and date them at the end of the meeting, so that that can be taken care of as well. With that, I'll turn that back over to Don.
Thank you, Alan. And no, you don't have to worry about stepping on anyone's toes. I think us as a group, we support each other, so I appreciate that you have something, please jump in and let us know. Jim, do you have anything to add from the business meeting?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Linda, is there anything that you would like to share with us as area governor?
As area governor, and I know you guys have done your officer training, but from what I was told this morning, it does not count if a district officer doesn't do it towards your distinguished program. Distinguished points. I didn't realize that, so that's why I checked. So I have it. It's not real long. If you want me to do it, because I hate to have you miss out on one. Sure. If you know, if you don't have to. I'll do the area visit today also. So anybody that's got plans on completing manuals or something, can give me the information so I can get it down.
Okay.
And the district conference is coming up, 1st and 2nd of May, and I believe it's together. And they've got some amazing speakers. And I would encourage anyone to come. It's not that far away. And I would really encourage them to come.
Sounds good. And what the officer training, what is that going to entail, and is that something that you can do today
Mhm.
while you're here? Okay, good. Okay. And Pete, did you have a question for
I,
me,
not,
Linda?
well, maybe,
Okay.
or for all of us. At our last officers meeting last week, we realized that we needed to go ahead and change our speech contest till 2 weeks from now instead of 5. And so will that work with your schedule? And also for the club, who's ready to volunteer to do what for the speech contest? Linda? Does that meet your timeline then, if we do that in 2 weeks, our local contest?
So it's fine,
Okay,
because we'll get the area contest put together here.
okay.
And am I correct in assuming that our local contest, is that on the
26th.
26th? Oh, it is on the
February.
26th?
Yeah, 2 weeks from today.
Well, I have a speech that I would like to give, so with that,
Okay.
mark that down. All right. Well, I think we have all our business taken care of.
Should we get a contest chair and chief judge
Sure.
today?
Sure. Are there any other speakers that we know of for that?
Oh, I can, I'll make up a speech 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Will you be a competitor then in your, in the international speech contest?
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Okay. And we need
Well,
some.
that'll be here.
That'll be right
Yep.
here.
Yeah,
it'll be right here.
Yeah, and then we need some people to participate in the speech evaluation contest as well. Do you wanna do that too? You wanna give an evaluation?
Sure.
Okay. And, sometimes Alan and I, do that. Do you wanna be an evaluator?
I would like to be an evaluator.
Okay.
A judge or a contestant?
Contestant evaluator.
Okay.
So, Virginia, what do you wanna do? Do you wanna be a judge or a vote counter like you usually are a sergeant of arms, or what do you wanna do in 2 weeks?
It's usually what I do.
Okay.
Probably have the best knowledge to do that.
Uh-huh.
Some of the others.
Okay. All right. So, Jim, do you wanna be chair, or do you wanna be, chief judge, or George, do you wanna be a judge or a evaluator? Okay,
I would do the contest chair.
okay. All right. Okay, so, I'll go ahead and be chief judge then.
I thought he said he was gonna be chief judge.
So, he's gonna be a judge, he said.
Oh, a judge, I'm sorry.
Yeah, all right.
You could do
Okay,
that.
there's a start. We've got
That's a start.
we've got a bare minimum, and we can add to that over the next 2 weeks. Thank you all.
Sounds good, thank
And
you.
then you were going to have a competitive speech.
Correct.
Yes.
Good.
All right. Well, then now that we have all of our business taken care of, we can get down to the fun stuff, which is our meeting, and our Toastmaster today is Alan Root. And Alan always does a wonderful job leading us as Toastmaster, so please help me welcome Alan Root.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, appreciate that a lot. I encourage those with cell phones to silence them or put them on vibrate, if you would, that would be much appreciated. And I have some joke, a joke or two here, but I didn't have time to actually, didn't have time to break them down, so I guess I'll go from my cell phone here. It's jokes about public speaking, people being nervous in front of people, anxiety, things like that. One of the jokes was, what lies at the bottom of the ocean and shakes a lot? A nervous wreck. Someone was asked, do you ever get stage fright? And the guy said, no, I'm not afraid of the stage. It's the audience that scares me. So, and what did the shy pebble say? I wish I was a little bolder. So anyway, with that, I guess we will get to the main part of the meeting, is our speeches for today. We have Jim and Pete giving speeches, and so I will introduce Jim as he will be our first speaker. Tuesday evening, the Glendive Chamber of Commerce had its annual banquet. As in the past, they have offered free booth space to members who want to display or promote their own organization or business. For the last 6 years, Jim Squires has put together a display booth to promote Glendive New Toastmasters Club number 9941. He used our Toastmaster banner, several Toastmaster manuals, Toastmaster magazines, business cards, plus a live exhibit on a laptop with the screen that you see right here. Video clips from the Toastmasters International website included world champion speeches and other quality videos that were shown. This year, Jim created a PowerPoint presentation which ran on a recurring loop at the banquet. Today, Jim will present a how-to speech showing what he did and which tools he used to do so. This is an instructional video for training purposes and will be speech number 8 in the Confident Communicator Manual, Getting Comfortable with Visual Aids. Would you please help me welcome Jim Squires in How I Did It.
Hang on, Alan.
Thank you, sir. I'm making an assumption that you have some knowledge of Microsoft Office products, including PowerPoint. If you don't, just listen in and pay attention. You may pick up some pointers and encourage yourself to go in that direction sometime. 3 tools that I used in developing a PowerPoint were these. A search engine, Google. The second one was the simple command of copy and paste. Copy from any kind of a document and then paste it into a PowerPoint presentation. The third then was the use of the snipping tool. It's in your all of the Windows operating systems. It's generally under accessories. It's simply a tool that you can do a click on a new screen cut, and it can be the whole screen, it could be part of a screen, and then you can drop that into a PowerPoint slide. So, with those simple tools, I created this. And let's see if I can get onto, here's the PowerPoint. I Googled this particular slide. I'm hoping we're all on the same page. Wonderful. I can't see that, but I can see this. Oops. I went to the website. As you see up here in the corner, it says, Welcome Jim. I logged in. This is the screen I found. This has been upgraded and is very recent. This is going quicker than I'd hoped for, but at the same time, across this toolbar that you're seeing on the top, it says About, Membership, Resource, Publication, Events. Each of those has a number of items under them. These actually are under About, and then the second in the middle was Membership, and the third is on Resources. I demonstrate with these 3. There's a lot here. All of your history on when you joined Toastmasters, the awards you have won, all of that is current from about 8 or 9 years ago. Prior to that, it doesn't exist. So, are you stuck? Get out of the rut, develop a communication leadership skills at Toastmasters. And then I have this slide. Contact Rochelle, Pete, Donna, Helen, Jim, or Nancy. This I found last night. Did not know it existed. This is on the website. It identifies us, our date, an actual map of the meeting location we are in. And the next page that'll pop up here, I'm hoping, will show the bottom half of that there it is. The location, the Kearney Conference Center at the Medical Center, actual address, all of the detail there. This then, in a moment, that will pop up and we'll see the first slide again. And I'll exit. Okay, I'm going to exit out of that. I want to bring up another PowerPoint. This is what I ended up creating. These, the gorilla and this are slides that we've had around for years. Again, this one, which has the toolbar about membership and so on, access to everything. This is so improved. That had been promised this back in the spring, and now it's a reality. I am very impressed with how far and how quickly they've gone. Again, repeating this thing, each of those items under those members, about membership, resources, so on, there is a myriad of information available under each of those. Under My Toastmasters over here in this far corner, you can look up your award history and when you won what. All of that is part of that particular drop-down menu. One of the things that I really appreciate in here are the videos that they have put together. Wow. There are about 20 that I have used in the past. And I think I saw 86 or 87 on one of the numbers or one of the videos. If you get bored and have access to the internet, don't get stuck. Don't be standing there scratching your chin. Talk to one of these people and come and visit Toastmasters Club 9941. This is a slide I used up there. I will substitute the slide from the screen that I cut and used the snipping tool to create and bring back to us. Again, you see it just cycles. It made it ideal for use at the banquet the other night. That ran for 2.5 hours nonstop, and people walked by and looked at it. It ran all during the presentations. So effective, I don't know. I planted seeds. And that's what you do when you're out in the marketing world. You're trying to make an impression. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Jim.
Do I dare leave that on?
That's fine, if whatever floats your
I'll
boat.
turn it off for Pete.
Thank you, Jim, for that very informational speech. Appreciate that a lot. Our next speaker is Pete Bruno, and Pete is a professor who teaches and studies psychology. Would you please welcome him as he presents Born to Discriminate.
Thank you very much, Alan. Fellow Toastmasters, the Civil Acts Right of 1964 states that it is illegal to discriminate based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. What's missing from that list? And why is this a law? Perhaps it's because from birth we were born to discriminate. From the moment of being delivered, we are able to discriminate with all 5 senses. We can visually discriminate between things. We recognize the sound of our mom's voice from being in the womb. We discriminate, psychologists' research shows us tastes, smells, and even touch. We can feel air movement even from birth. We can discriminate between stillness and movement in the air from birth. Are we born to discriminate? Why do we have this law? And what's missing? You see, children can discriminate based on race. They can tell the difference. Color, religion, sex, national origin, and mental status. School children notice differences in people. In this great democracy, we are equal opportunity. We have the American Disabilities Act. Because kids don't choose race. They don't choose their color. They don't choose their religion. They don't choose their sex, or even if they're from Ireland. Kids don't choose that. So the problem is, no one chooses their genes. And I'm not talking about the kind you wear. No one chooses their genes. And mental health has a very strong genetic link. And even so, whether it's expressed, if you'll pardon the expression, is a crapshoot. It's up to chance. So even if someone is born with genes that give them the chance of having a mental illness, that genotype does not become a phenotype until there's some kind of stress. We had a great president that had a story about this, about how the stressor for her was to go ahead and take a high school field trip to Europe. And that started the ball rolling, if I could use that term, in regard to her genotype becoming a phenotype, for that to become expressed. And then science today knows that once that ball starts rolling, it kind of accelerates. The body begins to make some neurological changes that go ahead, and if unchecked by medication, go ahead and the phenotype becomes more and more prevalent in the person's behavior. In fact, there was a very famous case of two pastors, two guys in seminary, and one of them, when began to have expressions of mental illness, started taking medication, and his twin brother did not. Today, the first one is an extremely successful pastor, and the other one is homeless, because medication was not used to halt that progression once the expression began. So, if you didn't choose your genes, and mostly you don't get to choose your stresses. So if most people really don't have control over the expression of inborn mental issues, doesn't everyone deserve encouragement? Regardless of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, or mental status. Doesn't everyone deserve encouragement? My daughter, as a young adult, said to me one day, assume, this is a quote, assume everyone is having a bad day. and encourage them. And she lives that today. And she inspires me to live that. So let me ask you, won't you join in that quest and assume that everybody deserves encouragement, fellow Toastmasters?
Thank you, Pete. Appreciate that a lot. Words of encouragement are always appreciated. And I must say, Pete, you are always encouraging of everybody, and you never belittle anybody, so I appreciate that in you. Since those are our two speeches, I encourage everyone to vote for best speaker at this time while I introduce our table topics master for today, which I believe is Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So
You're supposed to wake me up, right?
if you would come up and do our table topics for today, please. Please help me welcome Virginia.
Thank you. Sure. I'll go around and pass them out. We'll start with Linda, okay? Choose one. And she can tell us what it's about.
Fellow Toastmasters, what is one field or profession that you never pursued that you think you probably would have been good at? I never preferred or pursued a profession into getting out and speaking to people or talking to people that I didn't know. One-on-one is okay, but talking to numerous people, I never did that. And I never did that for a lot of years until I took the chamber director's job. And another Toastmaster encouraged me to join Toastmasters. He said, I think it would help. If I had done that maybe when I was in high school, it may have changed how things went through my life instead of being in the background and sitting and not talking, just quietly listening. It might have changed quite a few things, but yeah, I was not a out front communicator, not even slightly. Madam Table Topics, excuse me.
That's okay, it's not. Okay. Here you go. Vote for that.
Madam Table Topics person. Aside from any family, friends, or pets, what would be the most difficult thing for you to give up in your life? I have already given up something that was very important to me in life a number of years ago. I born and raised on the family farm and grew up loving farming. I had two older brothers who couldn't wait to get off the farm. Actually, I had three brothers who couldn't wait to get off the farm, but it's for me, I couldn't think of anything I wanted to do more than to take over the family farm. But through health reasons, I had to give that up. And it was like losing a family member, losing my arm, legs. It was very difficult because, as Jim probably knows, and Mark, it's not easy to give up something that is your passion and your lifeblood. So that's what I had to give up, but I gave it up for proper reasons so that my wife and my daughter could see me become the person that I am today.
Thank you, Table Topics Master Virginia. Forget about soft sounds like babbling brooks, gentle showers, and warbling birds. What is your favorite loud sound? Well, I have 2 boys, so that right there is my favorite loud sounds. And it doesn't matter where we are, what we're doing, there's always noise. And maybe that's one of the many reasons I love my 2-person office where it's just kind of nice and quiet, and it's just, you know, my boss and I there during the day, so it is nice and quiet, which gives me a break because as soon as I come home, you got 2 boys, a dog, and a husband that are always making noise, but I wouldn't change it for anything, so I'd have to say my family is my favorite loud sound. Thank you, Virginia.
Does George want one?
Fellow Toastmaster, topic master. If you could swallow a pill that would stop anything of your choice from ever happening to you again, anything except keep you from getting sick, what would the pill permanently end? Well, it seems like pills are the answer to a lot of things. When you go to a doctor, something's wrong with you, I think you might end up getting a pill. Just recently, I got referred to a physical therapist. Just my personal prejudice is, here's a part of medicine that doesn't give you a pill, but it's a heck of a lot more work than just taking a pill. So I think a pill that I would take would help me, I guess, what would end anything would be to end conflicts. I have a tendency, my wife tells me, to be conflictive or whatever you might call it. And so I guess that's something I would need a pill for probably if it's possible. But I have a feeling there's other ways that I might approach it that might be more successful.
Thank you all for sharing here. And I'll turn it back over down.
Thank you, Virginia, appreciate that. I encourage those of you to vote for your favorite Table Topics person at this time, and I would, since we finished with Table Topics, I'd like to introduce our general evaluator, Donna, so she can introduce her team of people. So, Donna, you can come up and look for that.
As Alan probably said, please complete your ballots and pass those around to Virginia for best speaker and best table topics, and she can count those while we are hearing from our speech evaluators. Mark Nelson, you are the speech evaluator for Jim Squires. Are you ready to give his evaluation?
Yes, I guess so, yeah. And so I was gonna say, Jim, I'm not too much into computers and that. I do have a fax, you know, connection down at the library and, you know, password and stuff. And so I'm not really into that so much. And, but I thought, you know, one question here was your each visual aid clearly visible and say excellent. And did the speaker use body language to reinforce the message? That was excellent. Was the speaker's word choice effective and appropriate? And I thought that was excellent. And I don't know, I didn't have a very lengthy evaluation, Donna, but I just wanted to say that I didn't have much to say, to be honest with you. And I thought the introduction could possibly be made more simple. And that's about all, and in ways. But I know Jim's a teacher, and he's knowledgeable about this, so it's informative.
Thank you, Mark. Our second speech evaluator is George Scarrett, and he was the speech evaluator for Pete Bruno. George?
Fellow Toastmaster and especially Pete. Pete's speech today was to inspire his audience, and that's what it was about. I think this was a pretty good speech. I had trouble at first wondering where Pete was going to go with this. You know, and when he started talking about the Voting Rights Act and non-discrimination, I was kind of wondering which direction he was going to go. So it's kind of an interesting opening. I think the speech topic was relevant, very good. Speaker understand, he expressed his feelings. That surely was the case. He was forceful and confident, and he used stories and anecdotes that made his point. I think especially the one that I remember was about the two pastors who were twins, and one had the medicine and one didn't. And that's something I think that will stick to our mind when this problem of mental health. And I think it's a topic that we're not very aware of, and I think it's kind of like something that wasn't talked much about for decades and maybe still isn't. And I think there's certainly been some roads to improving that. And I think there's a lot more that has to be done yet. And it's one of the things, I think we even had a vice president candidate one time who, when they found out he had therapy, he was dropped from the ticket. Needless to say, some other people that were president probably should have had therapy. And that's the kind of discrimination I think Pete's getting at there. So I feel better if somebody does have a problem, if they do get help. And I think it was uplifting. I think the body language was satisfactory. One of the things that I really felt about is it motivated me. And one of the things I got thinking about in this speech is everybody deserves a chance to get the medication. You know, the way our health system works sometimes, that is not always the case. Since these people that people are talking about could be able-bodied people without children, they still maybe need a chance to get a leg up and get some help. So I think that's something we might think about too. What do I like about the speech? I guess I think it brought to our attention a very important topic. And everybody deserves the opportunity to get medication. What was it? Could you do it a little bit differently? I think maybe it was a little bit tied to his notes more than maybe would have been a little smoother in a couple of places that he really needed to rely on his notes quite so much. Other than that, I enjoyed this speech very much.
Thank you, George. Jim, do you have a glaring report?
The only report I can say is I had failed to bring a word of the day. Mark suggested one earlier, and we failed to bring that up. You guys are really good. There were so few ums, ahs, double clutches, and that sort of thing. I was trying to find things to point out. And either I'm not paying attention, I'm sidetracked, or you're really that good.
Pete, do you have a timers report for us?
I do. Fellow Toastmasters, Jim, with remarkable brevity, hit 5 minutes and 54 seconds in a 5 to 7 minute speech, and I hit 6 minutes 11 seconds. Linda, perfect as nearly always, 110 on her table topic. Alan, 119. Donna, 45. George, 111. Mark's evaluation was a minute, and George's was 2:47 all within limits.
And if you haven't done so, if you haven't voted for best evaluator, please do that and pass those to Virginia. And as far as a general evaluation of the meeting, I thought this was a great meeting, but I think they're all great, so. But a couple of things that I picked up on during Jim's speech was plant the seed, about Toastmasters, invite people. Mark also said he always invites someone. So I guess what we have to do is just continue to plant that seed and encourage people to come. And as Linda said, maybe she would have started earlier, when she was younger, which I think we can all agree is. And Alan always says that hardest part is coming to that first meeting, and that's true. And I think it is a big step, but it's an important step, and we should use that and remind people when we're encouraging them to join us at the meeting. And as Pete said, remember, everyone does deserve encouragement, and that's a very, very relevant topic. I know we were discussing that at home, just from kids in sports, and they're at a young age. Mine are where you do need that encouragement, but I think any age is a good time for encouragement. So keep that in mind. And then I'm going to give it back to Alan to finish up the meeting and maybe remind Linda that we need to have our officers information. So thank you, everyone. Thank you all.
Virginia, do you have the tallies for best speaker, table topics, and evaluator?
Yes, I do.
Well, would you give this report to us now, please?
Think I should.
I think you should.
I only say that to hear you laugh. Our best evaluator is George, and I put the ribbons up there.
Okay, got them.
And the best speaker is Pete,
Right.
and our best table topics was Alan.
Oh. Well, thank you for that. It's always good to get encouragement by winning some things at our meeting, and all that's always an awesome part of the meeting as well. I guess for that I will return the podium back over to our acting president, Donna. We'll,
So you're gonna do the ribbons up?
oh, that's right. Right. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Alan. Alan will be so kind to pass out those ribbons, and Linda, if you don't mind, I will let you take over and do what you need to do as our area governor so that we can complete our officers training.
Yes.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you. This will be very short. So what do you have for officers here?
Let's see. We don't have,
You don't have your president,
president is not here at this time.
VP of Education,
Yes.
Steve?
VP of Public Relations,
No, she's not.
That's Stacy.
VP Membership,
Nancy.
Secretary?
Yep.
Treasurer?
Yep.
Sergeant at Arms?
Yep.
Okay. I will, your secretary, Jim?
Yes.
I will just pass those around, and this will be short and sweet.
Thank you.
And the treasurer is
Yeah.
Alan? Okay. There you are. Toastmasters International has a few other things that they think that we should be doing besides just the normal things that we do for our officers. And it's a lot more with your president, but at the moment, Pete, would you just kind of read through what we normally do for the Vice President of Education?
Sure. Schedule meetings at least 3 weeks in advance. Ask members about their goals and schedule them. Charts accomplishments, and we do have a progress chart on our cart. And we've asked members to go ahead as they complete something to to go ahead and chart it. Address members' needs and guest questions after the meeting, and I've changed my schedule, so almost always I can stay 15 minutes or so after a meeting. And then it says I'm responsible for the environment for members to achieve their goals. And then it's handwritten in here that I plan a speech contest, so I'm glad we did that today. I'm also, this says a sign, but it's actually to kind of be sure that new members have a table topic opportunity at their first meeting. And also encourage members to do successful club series programs. And while from time to time we do that on a volunteer basis, we also require everyone who's doing an advanced manual to do one speech from those series in addition to the manual. Monitor club performance quarterly. We just discovered that in our last officers meeting, and then the January one, I should say, and then initial records and preside over the meeting when the president is absent. But because our president asked for a leave of absence, our past president Donna has been filling in for the president. And then keep in mind it's impossible to cover every detail, and so I thank you for that encouragement at the end.
All right, Toastmasters International adds a few other things that they would like us to do. Things that they would like us to demonstrate outside of the regular club meeting environment. Plan our club meetings, make sure they're enjoyable for everyone, and your primary duty is assure that the club meetings members' needs are being met. And one of the things they can use is the member interest survey to check that out. Promote participation in the educational program, which you guys are working on. Orient new members by explaining materials, procedures, matching new members with mentors, and arranging an induction ceremony. You already encourage members to participate, and I'm assuming you assign a mentor to your new members, and attend club executive meetings and preside when the president's absent. Attend district council meetings and vote the club's proxy. Vote at international business meetings. Arrange for your replacement and assistants, and prepare the successor for your office. It's always a grand thing to do because we're always looking. And at the club meeting, assign each member before attending their fourth meeting to be a table topic participant, to a meeting role, and to give the icebreaker project from the Competent Communicator Manual. Ensure that the club conducts a successful club series, monitor club performance, and initial speakers project completion records. And that's what Toastmasters talks about over and above. Your VP of membership is not here either?
No.
Okay. I'll make sure I didn't miss that. Secretary, Jim, would you go through the secretary's duties?
Yeah, what the sheet and the all meeting activities must be accurately tracked. We're a club that always has minutes, and they're circulated. The trio, the clubs in the area 26 all get these. I send them to Randy Keene, so Joanne gets them up there in Williston. And other people like Peter Frumenti, the PRO, he gets the public relation officer, gets our minutes. Keep an attendance record. That's all part of the, I call them draft minutes because we never approve them. I get intermittent corrections, and I always update those and try to keep those updated records in my computer. In addition, before each meeting, the secretary gives the president a list of actions. When we meet at our executive meeting each month, we kind of have a parking lot of ideas, what needs to be discussed, and then Because we have the written minutes, it's easy just to bring a copy of the written minutes and here's what we said. So we have that. Pete has been just super about getting out the sheet that has the schedule on it, and the people in us who are mentors are in brackets. Goals are listed for speeches on this. A lot of the data that you need for the report that you'll be doing is right here on that particular sheet. That's all that's on my sheet.
Okay. They had a couple of other things. Mail the officers list or email them or put it on the website to Toastmasters International. Handle club correspondence. Keep club files, the charter, constitution, bylaws, resolutions, correspondence. Attend district-sponsored club training. Arrange for replacement if you are unable to attend a meeting and prepare your successor. And that pretty much takes care of the secretary. Alan, would you go through the treasurers, please?
The treasurer transacts and reports on all financial matters. Most projects require a certain amount of financial support. Despite their relatively low maintenance nature, all Toastmaster clubs have a certain number of financial transactions. The treasurer collects dues both from new members and from current members. And I in turn send a check off to Toastmasters International with a cover letter stating which members have renewed their dues so that they are the TI website is updated. I issue checks to world headquarters for supply orders when necessary and present a financial report as required. I will say that we keep a low balance just because we don't need a large balance in the treasury, and that works well for us. I guess I've never really given a financial report other than what the reconciled statements are, from each previous month. So that was, and I give a report at our the officers meeting at the first meeting of every month, and so that's basically what I do.
Okay. What the treasurer, what TI says the treasurer should do outside of the club meeting: prepare a budget, provide the bank with new signature cards, do the dues statements, collect and pay the dues, and you can submit the dues online. Submit new member applications and dues to world headquarters within 48 hours after receipt, or add new members online. Pay bills, keep records, present verbal and written financial reports, submit club accounts for audit, and then attend the executive committee meetings and the district sponsored training, and arrange for your replacement if you're unable. And at the club, receive and complete new member application and dues, announce when dues are due, explain the dues structure, allow time before and after the meeting to speak with the guests. And that is what, oh no, Sergeant at Arms. Sorry, Virginia, would you go through that, please?
Confirms the meeting location, arranges the room and equipment for each meeting, greets all guests and members at each meeting, arranges for food service at meal meetings. We haven't done that here. But maintains all club equipment and materials and returns the room to its original state.
Okay. Outside of the club meeting, they would like you to attend district-sponsored club officer training, and you get to select the meeting location, attend the executive meetings, and arrange for a replacement if you're gone. And the only other things at the club meeting: greet guests and members, welcome visitors, greet the area governor and visiting officers, ensure the meeting starts on time, and collect the ballots and tally votes. What I have brought with me today is Miles City is working on membership, and I have some new membership brochures. I have some new, new member orientation and some new member kits. And then I have a mug that Kathy sent down that we can do with whatever. She sent me 3, so I put each club one. You can do with it what you want. But I have those, and I have a bunch of brochures. If there's any of the brochures you want, you just take some, help try to get the word out. This time I'll return the control to Alan.
Thank you.
Appreciate all your work, Linda, doing being our area governor. Keeps everybody on their toes, and it's always a good thing. So with that, I think the meeting will be over, and thank everybody for coming, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Same spot, same time. Bye.
Be ready to compete.
Oh, yeah.
Say, Linda, I was wondering maybe if I could get a manual on speech evaluators.
If you want your introduction back, you know.
I don't think I have an evaluator, a book on speech evaluators.
I see.
Not, at least not with me. I don't.
Really, the outline in each of those books, the manual is the guideline.
It is, you're pretty well covered. There's your, there's a couple pre-orientation kits, there's a couple member kits, yes, I can do that.
Say, Alan,
Yes.
you make this out at Toastmasters?
Thanks for
Glendive Toastmasters.
Oh, Glendive. And,
Yeah, it's
should I write down the club number? You think there's 79 or
9941.
9941?
Did you ever have a chance to talk with Jordan?
I forgot to. Yeah, did you go talk to her?
I didn't, no.
Oh, okay, so I'm not ahead of you.
No, you're not, no.
Okay,
I'm-
when you get it done.
All right, I'll go back and talk with her and, thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
You ready to go for another?
Do you want any
Yep.
of these, Jim?
Pardon?
You betcha.
Do you want any of these?
Which ones are they?
Yeah, I could sure use some of those too. Yeah, Jim, here is your book back too.
I have, see, I've got all of this stuff. I've got probably 3 packets. These all look like stuff that I have 2 or 3 copies of. And I've got that, I've got that with me. And
You
this
have
one,
finished
because
enough evaluations,
that's,
speech evaluations, yeah, you're still general evaluator,
I see.
Oh, okay,
Well,
this
that's
is
great.
just,
Yeah,
yeah,
This just.
yeah, thank you, Pete.
you bet.
can we have the packet?
Yeah, I'll just
Or
pull
just
some
take
out so
up.
that I take some.
Yeah, we'll just get them. Okay, the rest of the stuff, I have
Okay.
multiple copies.
Okay. I knew you probably had at least some of it.
Yeah,
These are some
thanks,
of
Mark.
the smaller ones.
I can keep it in my,
These all look very
big
familiar.
circle I bring to, yeah, that works for me.
Okay,
Uh,
I'll just keep this and,
give me a couple of these, because I think I've got a pile of that. I was just through and organizing all of those Toastmasters things. It took about 14 hours yesterday to
Yeah,
go
no,
through
that
my office.
feeling.
And I literally have 200 or 300 pounds of Toastmasters records. You know, and probably 4 file drawers. 4 file drawers of,
thank you for having.
is this just for officer?
and you, I saw that you moved to
This is
recycle
just
my
people trying to promote.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, share that with somebody. There's 3
Okay,
copies.
sure.
There's a.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I saw that one yesterday. I need another 1 or 2, but I had 1 copy of that. Here's your timer. Hey, thank you. There's, yes, as a matter of fact, I think I saw that one yesterday too. I was wondering, I said, well, that's the newer style print, so that should be current. I was trying to figure out what was current and what was 12 years old. From Prospect to Memphis, yes, and that's the same advertising. There's so much of this stuff that, you know, you just, whew,
Yeah, as we both know,
yeah, very much both, no.
it,
Here, I gotta run down the hall. I'll be
Yeah,
right
okay.
back.
Oh, I see that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out where stuff goes.
Okay, let me shut this thing off so we don't have to record
Do you have
the
any
entire
manuals
exercise.
on that?